Next, from Springfield, at a signing ceremony, Governor Rauner is joined by Republicans and Democrats as he discusses the criminal justice reform bill he just signed. This runs about 25 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today is a very good day for the people of Illinois. I want to just extend my heartfelt appreciation to all the members of our legislature, Democrats and Republicans coming together, doing what we're elected to do, and that's try to make a better life for all the people of Illinois. That is why we're in office. We need a better life for every person in our state, especially our young people. Our young people deserve an opportunity at a better life than their parents had, and that includes people who've made a mistake. We're all human. We're God's children. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. People deserve redemption. People deserve an opportunity for a second chance. That's the moral, that is the just, that is the right thing. Now, my personal passionate belief is the number one way we can improve the quality of life, as well as improve public safety and improve our criminal justice system, is to have a competitive, strong, booming economy, creating good jobs in every neighborhood, in every community. Number one. Number two, we can have an excellent school providing high-quality teaching and skills development in every neighborhood, in every community. We do those two things well, many of our other challenges will begin to be addressed. But that doesn't go far enough. That's why I was very honored, very early in our administration, to call for the formation of a state task force for criminal justice and sentencing reform that was nonpartisan, bipartisan. This is not a partisan issue. This is a leadership issue. This is a better life issue. This is not partisan. I was honored to have many of our legislators here with us today to join that commission, that task force. They've made a number of outstanding recommendations. Some of these bills incorporate those recommendations. This is a process. This is not complete. This is a step that we're going to take to reform our criminal justice system. We in America have taken some good actions. It's important. Punishment is important. Keeping dangerous offenders away from the public is important. But what's also important is rehabilitation and thoughtful work with offenders so that they don't offend again. That's the most important thing we can do. It's not only about punishment. It's about rehabilitation and re-entry as a productive, positive member of society. We can't only do the one half. We can't just lock away and punishment. We need to think strategically, thoughtfully, compassionately about helping people come back, have a second chance, and be productive citizens. Much of our crime is occurring because of mental health issues, because of addiction issues, and lack of job skills. We need to think about those and integrate them in our justice system so we can prevent crime in the future, lower our prison population, and have a more just and fair society. That's what these bills take an important step to do. That's what we must continue to work together on a bipartisan basis to try to accomplish in the months and years ahead. Many of these bills we've discussed. I'll call out a couple, especially want to thank Elaine Neckeritz. I'll thank everybody very much for their thoughtful work here. Encouraging our judges, one of these bills gets to, encouraging our judges to not arbitrarily extend probation for juvenile offenders, but at the minimum level of probation, have a hearing and assessment and decide, publicly say why that probation should have to continue and whether that's really in the interest of the young offender. Too often, being locked away in either having to go to jail or be under constant scrutiny and being under probation prevents a young person from getting a job and being rehabilitated. And we need to find a proper balance. These bills are an important step. I hope that we're signing 5 bills at conferences like this on a regular basis going forward to gradually change the system, make it more fair, more just, and improve the opportunity for redemption for everybody.
Appreciate you coming out to Safer Foundation. We'd like to welcome Governor Rauner. We'd like to welcome all of the legislators that are here. We're very excited to have you here at the North Lawndale Adult Transition Center. This is one of 2 facilities here on the west side of Chicago that's operated by Safer Foundation on behalf of the Illinois Department of Corrections. We've been in the work of adult transition centers for more than 30 years now. This facility has 200 beds. We have another one that has about 350 beds. These facilities are designed to support people who are reentering our community. We receive individuals who have less than 2 years left on their sentence with the Illinois Department of Corrections. And our purpose here is to really provide a very robust set of services to help them get ready and prepared to reintegrate with their family, reintegrate in the community, and most importantly, to secure the skills and employment that they need to provide for themselves and their families. We know that when people work who have been released from prison, the recidivism rate, the rate at which they return to prison, drops by over 60%. That's very important. We are very excited about the governor's ambitious goal to reduce the prison population in our state by 25%. And we know that a big part of that is making sure that the people who are released don't wind up back in 3 years. We're very excited about the bills that are being signed today. All of them are, part of the effort, which is a bipartisan effort to reform our criminal justice system. We have a tremendous number of people who are being impacted by their criminal record. And it really doesn't help anyone if we can't get those people education and employment so they can contribute to our society. We're very happy, fiscal year 15, we had our clients, while they were still incarcerated, employed. They earned over $5 million in wages. They paid over $1 million in taxes. They were able to pay child support and court fees. They saved money, and when they left, they were able to really have a way of getting back into society in a very productive way. After the press event here, we'd love if you'd like to take a tour of the facility to show you a little bit about what we do, show you around. We're very excited about this work. We know it makes a big difference for our community and for the individuals that are here. So thank you very much for coming to Safer Foundation.
We're just going to sort of stand here because we're the chief sponsors of the legislation. And I just want to start speaking. I want to thank my colleague in the House, Kara Ammons. She was really the spearhead bringing the legislation to the Senate. And I was proud to pick up the bill from my co-sponsor here. So let me just start. I want to thank the governor. I'm Senator Jacqueline Collins. I represent the 16th Legislative District, which is on the south side of Chicago. So I'm glad to be welcome on the west side. And I know this is Senator Van Pelt's district. Let me just first start saying, Governor, thank you. Thank you. This shows how we can work in a bipartisan way to accomplish something that really benefits the constituents of Illinois. So I want to thank you for your leadership on this issue, especially criminal justice reform. And let me just say, step by step, we are dismantling a criminal justice system built for punishment and profit and rebuilding one designed for rehabilitation and the restoration of communities ravaged by crime and mass incarceration alike. By ending the practice of allowing for-profit contractors to charge exorbitant rates for inmate phone calls, we are enabling families to stay connected, and that is so crucial. We are allowing loved ones to encourage those in prison to stay on good behavior, stick with treatment and training programs, and hold fast to hope of a better life after their release. We are allowing parents to maintain and enrich relationships with their children, and we are helping mend the fabric of disadvantaged communities disproportionately affected by crime and incarceration. And you know that I know we have another bill, so I'm not going to speak on that bill unless you want me to speak on the other bill that you're going to sign, which I also sponsored, or?
We have 5 of them, but speak.
Okay. So I'm going to speak on the next bill that he's going to be signing, and that is by granting Park District's discretion to hire more ex-offenders who have turned their lives around. We continue the process of opening up employment opportunities to chronically unemployed and underemployed sector of our population. Ex-offenders face the same obligations as the rest of us, the need to support themselves and their families, and when they turn their backs on crime, they deserve the same opportunity to work hard and earn a living. And I now turn it over to my colleague and co-sponsor.
Thank you, Senator Collins. Thank you very much. My name is Representative Carol Ammons, A-M-M-O-N-S. I represent the 103rd District, which is Champaign-Urbana. I drove here this morning about 2 hours and 15 minutes specifically for this press conference because I wanted to give voice to the thousands of families, one of them who traveled with me here today, young woman Ronjelle Harvey Robinson, who as a child lost both of her parents to incarceration. And during that stay, she was unable to connect with them because her grandmother, who struggled to raise the 2 children who were left behind, could not afford the phone calls that costed them an enormous amount. So the choice was food or phone. And that should not be a choice for families. And so I want to thank the 69 sponsors in the House who aren't here this morning, but who were willing to listen to me as I advocated on this issue. I also want to thank the 54 senators who supported this bill in the Senate under the leadership of Senator Collins. And finally, I want to thank the governor for seeing the importance of this kind of work. We know that in order for people to truly, truly gain their lives back and contribute to society, they have to have certain things when they get out. They have to have family connections that keeps them connected to family that will be their support system once they get home. And without that, the success rate drops tremendously. We know that. We also know that they have to have employment. And so the bills that the governor will sign this morning that will lead to the opportunity for reemployment are a critical step to not just tearing down an old system that created a serious disparity, but to truly address the disparity in a way that is equitable and just. And so it is my pleasure to have driven 2.5 hours this morning. It is my pleasure to drive the 2.5 hours back to let Champaign-Urbana know that the governor and the legislature can do something together. And we can pass bills that are in the best interest of the state of Illinois. So thank all of you in the media for spreading this message, and thank the governor so much for signing these bills this morning. And thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Senator Patricia Van Pelt, and I am the state senator for this district. Proud to be here today. And I'm just proud about all these bills that are being signed. I mean, I ran for office strictly because of the criminal justice system and how I had to live every day. I didn't hardly want to even go outside to my car. You know, I need to run to the car, run in the house, because so many people, a large percentage of people out in the neighborhood can't get jobs, can't get the necessary things that they need, don't have the connections that they need. So, you know, being a part of the criminal justice reform that's going on right now under Governor Rauner, having this heart for this issue, which is amazing to me, and I'm really grateful to the governor, happy to stand side by side with him on any criminal justice bill, because I know that this is what's going to turn our communities around. About 55% of adult black males in Chicago have felony records. When they can't get a job, they're locked out of all kinds of situations. Having places like here with Victor Dixon and Safer is excellent, and then having these bills, these fine legislators, come on up here, Representative, because she has a really good bill. And so having all these fine representatives and senators standing up, you know, fighting for this thing is powerful. And how the Republicans right by our side is like, wow, okay, so we're growing up here. This is great. All right, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Senator Van Pelt was a Senate sponsor with me on the companion bill to the Park District bill that Senator Collins spoke to earlier, where we are working systematically to remove barriers to reemployment. And I applaud the governor's signing of both the school employment bill or the school system employment bill and the Park District employment bill. And I want to level a challenge to political leadership across the spectrum. It's time for détente on these issues. The need to fix our criminal justice system is greater than gotcha ads, it's greater than political mailings. And until we come to a place where we stop using these as weapons to beat our political opponents, until we come to a place where a legislator or a governor doesn't have to make a decision whether the hit that's going to come for signing or voting on a bill is too great a risk to take, we won't get to that 25%. We won't get to that just criminal justice system. The system is broken. We have to work together to fix it. I am thrilled to be serving at a time when we are coming to this place of bipartisanship and cooperation. But my party is running ads. I'm sure that the Republicans will be running ads this year. And I dare everybody to stop. Let's fix this together and get it done right. And I want to thank the governor for taking this action today.
Well, Representative Cassidy just said it all. Really, I mean, I think the governor, a few days into his administration, stepped up to a challenge and did something unprecedented. He said he wanted to reduce the prison population and confront criminal justice reform comprehensively, and that means not just the low-hanging fruit, not just what is easy by way of how you all will report things, not just what is easy by way of what will survive political campaigns. With regards to bills that affect juveniles, it is clear that the type of offenders that we have the best chance of rehabilitating are those young offenders. And to the extent that we know that, to the extent that there is data supporting that, we can take data-driven steps to reform how we approach juvenile delinquency. But the same can be done on the adult level. The governor appointed a criminal justice reform commission upon which I'm happy to serve. The heavy lifting is ahead of us. We need the cooperation of, as Representative Cassidy said best, folks on both sides of the aisle, because there's some difficult work ahead of us, and we need the cooperation of the media as well. We really do. You know, the days of Willie Horton campaigning and Willie Horton reporting ought to be over, because we have data that supports from throughout the country that we can do things differently in a way that saves taxpayers money and keeps the public safe. So I want to applaud the governor, and we have more work ahead.
Good morning. My name is L.G. Sims. I'm the state representative from the 34th District. You know, and today's a great day because this is the culmination in the work of some of the work that we're doing to reform our criminal justice system. And it's proof positive that we can work together to get things done. There's an old African proverb that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And if we're going to get this system working correctly, if there's truly going to be justice, there's going to have to be work between all of us, all segments. I think the best word was détente. This system does not work. It's broken on a number of levels, and we've got to reform it to its core. What we've got to do is make sure that individuals who are coming into the system, they don't leave the system just better criminals, but they leave better people. And that's what these laws that the governor is going to sign here today, and the efforts that the Criminal Justice Reform Commission that we're working on, that they're aimed at doing, making sure that we live up to our constitutional responsibility of rehabilitating individuals to their fullest usefulness. And that's what we're here to do, That's what we're making sure that we are working on those efforts. We're trying to make sure that we give individuals, no matter what your zip code, your color, or creed, you should have all the opportunities everyone else has. So if you make a mistake in your life, it should not be a death sentence. Our system should incarcerate those individuals who need to be detained. But for those individuals who've made a mistake and who can truly be rehabilitated and be a benefit to the community, we should be giving them those opportunities. So, Governor, I thank you for stepping up and signing these pieces of legislation. And if you look back over the roll calls, many of these bills were signed, they passed in a bipartisan fashion, and that's how we're going to get things done, collectively. It's not going to be one party or the other. It's going to have to be all of us together. So I thank each and every one of you. I thank all of the sponsors for their hard work. We had some sponsors who worked diligently to make these things happen. So I want to commend them for this day, commend them for the work that they've done, and we've still got a lot of work to do, but we will. We will. So thank you all for being here.
One more. So I'm State Representative Elaine Nekritz. I'd like to thank the governor very much for for bringing us together today to sign these bills. It was really my pleasure to work on one of the juvenile justice initiatives that's in this package with Senator Raoul, Chairman L.G. Sims, and President Preckwinkle, who was the driving force behind this initiative. The criminal justice system in this country is one of the most studied aspects of state government, and has been said, we have evidence-based models, and we have plenty of data. We know what works, we know what doesn't work, and the proposals put forth in these bills today work. So I'm very excited that for the second year in a row, we've been working with Governor Rauner to come up with these data-driven and evidence-based approaches to criminal justice reform, and as my colleagues have said, we will continue to do that.
I'm Senator Kara McConaughey from Kane County, the Kane and McHenry County area. First, I want to thank Governor Rauner for as Senator Raoul said, almost day one made a very strong commitment to criminal justice reform here in Illinois, and as a result formed the commission, which I am proud to serve on with many of my colleagues. I also, I think many of us, and I hold my colleagues in high regard. I have immense respect for their dedication. I share their commitment to changing the policies in Illinois that offer unnecessary incarceration, offer dead ends for so many people. People make mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. But we can do such a better job in Illinois of giving people the proper opportunities for education and employment that can make a difference in their lives. So for me, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here and work with my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. I'm a Republican from the suburbs, imagine that, who's committed to criminal justice reform.